What's going on, everyone? So earlier today, I talked about the Rich Paul news and the potential of LeBron James being traded to the Warriors. Again, I believe if it were to happen, I think one, it doesn't happen at the trade deadline. I think it happens in the offseason, right? Because I think one, I don't think the Lakers would want to trade LeBron because they don't own their pick. So they can't really tank and be bad this year and hope that you get Cooper Flag or something like that. They have to be the best version of themselves as possible, right? Could Steph maybe come at the trade deadline? I think if it happens, that would happen. I think if it happens at all, it's more likely Steph comes to the Lakers. Because I just think LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Steph Curry has more likely of a chance of winning than Draymond Green, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. Right? So I just think it makes more sense. Also, the Warriors are in a position where they have really good young talent that they really like and think is the future, that next wave. They don't really want to trade them. Like, they weren't even willing to include like Pod in a deal for Lauri Markkanen, who's already proven, and you have Steph Curry, right? So they want to keep Pod, Kuminga, and all that stuff. Now, if you get LeBron James, it's a little different, right? So I look at this and I was really thinking, and I was like, man, because one of the things that I talked about in that video was if the Lakers were to trade LeBron, I think you have to trade AD too. Because you're going to have to take on like an Andrew Wiggins contract or whatever, right? So to me, it's like Anthony Davis and a bunch of role players is not going to get it done. Could you package everything and maybe go get another star or something? Sure. But at that point, it's like, is it really worth it? Because like you have like Max Christie, Dalton Connect, well, you'd get in a deal, probably Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, right? Like now you have all the young talent. Why not go trade Anthony Davis, go get more young talent, and then now you just have this plethora of young talent and you kind of hit the reset button. But if that were to happen, I think it would happen next offseason, right? So not this offseason, not at the trade deadline, next offseason. Because again, the Lakers can't tank. The Lakers have to be the best version of themselves as possible. I still think if LeBron and Steph were to team up, it's on the Lakers. Again, if you want more in depth on that, go watch that previous video after this video, of course. But beyond that, right, I wanted to kind of break down ideally, like what would be great if the Lakers were to potentially have a rebuild. Because to me, if you could turn Anthony Davis into like 4 or 5 firsts plus like 2 or 3 young players, right? If I'm the Lakers, I'm going to, like, first off, start with the LeBron factor, because that's the easier part, right? Trade LeBron to the Warriors. So let's say in the offseason, LeBron comes to you and says, hey, I want you guys to trade me to the Warriors. I want to go play with Steph, right? I'll opt in, whatever I got to do, trade me to the Warriors, right? You got to get Kuminga right off the bat, because he's the guy that he has genuine star potential. Like, that guy could be great. So you got to go get Kuminga. I would prefer Pod, but I don't know if they would necessarily trade Pod, and the Lakers wouldn't have a ton of leverage because LeBron has a no trade clause. He could also just like leave. I just think your hands are tied a little bit. So I think you get him, Kuminga, and I think you get Moses Moody. I think those are the two guys, and then you have to take on salary to match. So you basically get Kuminga, Moses Moody. Then if I'm the Lakers, you could either A, look for a young center, right? Maybe you go and get a Walker Kessler, somebody we've talked about here numerous times, right? But Anthony Davis is not going to want to go to Utah. So to me, it'd probably be a third team, something like maybe you're sending somebody that Utah wants, or some other team is sending somebody that they want. Outside of that, it's just kind of like what good young center is out there that you're like, you got to go get that guy, right? It's just, you're almost better off just waiting, being patient, and trying to draft that guy, right? Because if I was the Lakers, I would look at a team like OKC, who it wants to win a championship. They're a contender right now. You add Anthony Davis to that team, they're probably winning the championship. So to me, I would hit up OKC because they have a ton of draft picks. So you could probably get 5, 6, 7 draft picks from them, right? Be like, hey, what type of, I would do the early, hey, we're going to put Anthony Davis on the market. We can either, work this out now, or it's a bidding war, right? And to me, if you are the Lakers, I'm getting as many draft picks as possible. I'm also getting as much young talent as possible. Keep Caruso, keep SGA, keep Chet, because you're probably not going to be able to get Chet in that deal. They're not going to want to trade Chet. Although if you could get Chet, I would do that. But I think realistically, you're probably not going to be able to get Chet. So to me, I'd be looking at some of the other guys. Like, I'd even be okay with them keeping Dort, right? Like, I'm getting a package of, like I said, like 5 firsts. I'm getting Jalen Williams, the good one. The one that, like, he's still 23, averaging 20 a game, right? I'm getting him, and I'm getting, like, Carson Wallace, right? So get those. Obviously, you'd have to take on other salary. There'd be some other pieces that'd be involved in that. But to me, that'd be the package. So essentially, you turn LeBron James and Anthony Davis into, like, probably 7 or 8 firsts, because you're probably going to get some firsts from the Warriors. So you're probably getting 7 or 8 firsts. So you got a ton of firsts. You're getting Carson Wallace. You're getting Jalen Williams. You're getting Jonathan Kuminga. You're getting Moses Moody, right? And you're also adding in that you have Dalton Connect. You have Max Christie. So to me, now you have, in my opinion, probably the best young core in the entire NBA. Right, you have Jalen Williams, who has star potential. I mean, the guy is like a third option, is averaging 20 plus a game on incredible efficiency. Then you have Jonathan Kuminga, right? Carson Wallace could be like, your Marcus Smart type guard, right? And then, like I said, you'd still have Austin Reeves, you'd still have Max Christie, you'd still have Dalton Connect, you'd still have, Jalen Hood-Schifino, you'd still have all these guys. So now you have a bunch of picks. You could either, give it a year or two, kind of develop some guys, see what kind of guys emerge, right? Maybe you end up having the 2 stars. What if, Jalen and Jonathan end up becoming your 2 stars? And now you have like Kuminga at the 4, right? Or you still have Rui, right? So you could go with like a starting 5 if you wanted to of like, I wouldn't even hate keeping D'Lo and just let him be your playmaker. Problem is you'd still need a center, in my opinion. That would be where the issue lies. But maybe you turn like Austin Reeves or something like that, because at that point, because Austin Reeves, he's still young, but you have Connect, you have Williams, you have all these guys where it's like, maybe then maybe you're making another move to go get a Walker Kessler. Like, what if when all is said and done, right, you were to end up with, say, Carson Wallace, Jalen Williams, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Walker Kessler, plus like 5 firsts, plus your own first, right? Like, that would be great. Like, that could literally be your starting 5, right? Kessler, you'd have Kessler, you could have, Moody at the 2, Jalen at the 3, Kuminga at the 4, and Kessler at the 5. But to me, obviously you see what emerges, because you still have Jalen Hood-Schifino, you'd still have Max Christie, you'd still have Dalton Connect, right? Like, now, I think, to me, if you can essentially turn LeBron and AD into the best young core in the league, to where it's like, okay, the whole mission of the Lakers and what they're trying to do is be the best development program in the league. I think that type of deal makes sense for the Lakers. Got a bunch of draft picks, so you still control your future outside of the 2027 pick, which the Utah Jazz have, but it's top 4 protected. So, if it falls in the top 4, you still get that pick. But to me, I look at it and I go, man, you'd have the best young core with literal guys that have star potential. You might even be a play-in team already. Like, as crazy as that sounds, I don't think that's great. Like, again, Jalen Williams is a legit defensive scoring guy. I can give you 20 a game and defend multiple positions. Jonathan Kuminga's shown the ability to score 20 a game and defend multiple positions. He just needs better consistency, right? His problem is he's like 25 one game and like 7 the next. If he can gain that consistency, that might be good. Again, you get a nice young point guard and Wallace. I don't hate the idea of like, kind of piecing this together. Again, if you could turn LeBron and AD into stars, I just look at it as like, again, if you end up having to trade LeBron, which again, I do believe Steph ultimately comes to the Lakers if they ever team up. But if you could turn LeBron into a potential star, quality at worst rotation piece, and Moses Moody, and then draft picks and stuff. Plus, you can go get, Jalen Williams, Carson Wallace, and then pivot and go get a Walker Kessler. Now you got a young center, you got a young guard, you got a young two guard, you got a young power forward or center, and you still have Rui, so you could still trade him if you wanted to. You still have Reeves and D'Lo and all these other things. Well, if you did it next offseason, I guess you wouldn't have D'Lo, but you'd still have a bunch of other stuff, right? So to me, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how you say no to that, right? Like, that would be tough. Like, if you could do worse, right? Because, I mean, also you could go, but the problem is, like, another team would have been great would be like the Knicks, but they already traded all their picks. So I just look at the Thunder, and I'm like, man, if you could turn, like, AD into, like, 6 first plus, Jalen Williams and Carson Wallace plus, again, you'd probably have to take some salary filler, but if you could do something like that, like, that would be A1, right? OKC's probably going to win the next 2 championships, but you're fine with that, right? Like, you're okay with that because, again, you have now the young future, right? All your top guys are all like 23, 24. You let them mold together. By the time they all hit 26, 27, you're probably winning championships, right? So, I don't know. Or worst case, you just use all the young talent and picks to go get the next 2 stars, right? So you could keep, like, let's say Jalen Williams becomes, like, he's, like, clearly the best guy. You could take Kuminga and everything else, and now you have 12 picks you can trade and go get a star or 2 to pair with Williams, and there you go, right? Like, now you go get, say Devin Booker's like, hey, I'm done, I want to get out. Okay, let's go get Devin Booker. Oh, and Giannis is available? Man, now we have enough to get both, right? Like, just names, just throwing it out there. But you get my point, right? It's like, oh, now you go, like, immediately have a turnaround to be a contender, or you could do what the Lakers want to do, which is rebuild. Like, they want to develop guys. They want to have, that Warrior dynasty where it's homegrown. They're bringing guys in to grow and develop, right? You could do that, right? So, anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Like I said, just was thinking it over, and I was like, man, Thunder and the Warriors, that would be great, man. Like, the combined package you could get from those two for LeBron and AD would be A1 in my opinion. But do you feel the same way? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.